Hi, Richard Smith here from the Finance Zone, your personal financial planning expert. Today I want to be talking to you about property prices and the outlook for property prices in the UK. Over the weekend there was quite a lot of information in the Financial Mail and several other of the broadsheet and tabloid newspapers talking about the UK buy-to-let sector and how buoyant it was. The reality is that doesn't actually show the true picture of the whole market. There are several issues with the UK property sector. Without a doubt, the banking crisis is still not over. We are still not seeing the levels of lending in the residential mortgage market that we saw pre-credit crunch. And the banks are still having to raise funds on the wholesale money markets at rates that they perhaps don't want to pay, which therefore seems to indicate we're not out of the pain yet, or we know we're not out of the pain yet. More importantly, we're not sure whether we're still in a recession or not, but if we are not in a recession, then the levels of growth are relatively low, which is causing some further problems in relation to the feeling of security, the good feeling of knowing full well that it's easy to find a job and that there is plenty of jobs out there. The reality is that's different. More importantly, we've got the cuts which are about to be implemented. Some have already started, some are ongoing, and this is going to be running for this year and next year. All of that leads into ongoing uncertainty. We've absolutely no idea where the economy is going to be going, and indeed this is a worldwide problem. We're seeing it with Portugal recently, we've already seen it with Greece. People are starting to talk about the dollar now and whether or not there's issues there. Don't really want to get involved in that stage. But the bottom line is the bigger picture is there is ongoing uncertainty. And this is from Reuters taken today, which shows that house prices post the biggest annual fall in 1.5 years. Well, that's hardly a train smash, is it? But the reality is, of course, that house prices are starting to correct themselves, and they're correcting themselves downwards. And this is the reality. Property transactions in the UK are not increasing, proving that demand is weak, and the source of that is land registry. The reality is people are not moving sufficiently as they had done so in the past. And if we look at some figures here, this is taken from Eastbourne, which is from January 2007 to May 2011, information from home.co.uk. And this shows the average time on the market, and you can clearly see from the graph there that this is the time on the market to when they were sold, and you can clearly see that's increasing. And if we look at the figures from London, we can see exactly the same. And if we look at the figures below, we can see that in January 2007 the average time to sell was 105 days, and now it's 154 days. And if it's a semi-detached, it's gone from 95 days to 133 days. So we are seeing that it is taking longer to sell a property. Now, from your point of view, you have several options. Now, this is going to be the starting point and a couple of little helpers that I want to give you today. Choose your estate agent wisely. Find an estate agent that can sell. Don't be afraid to ask awkward questions. And that is awkward questions like, how long does it take you to sell a property on average? Exactly how are you doing marketing the property? Now, be pointed. The bottom line is that estate agents are charging anything up to 3% of the sale value of your property, plus VAT. And you want to know that these agents are going to actually add some value and deliver for you. The reality, of course, is that for many estate agents are just looking to market your property at a price they can sell it at fairly quickly, rather than maximising the potential. That's not all agents. That's but certainly a good number of them just play this numbers game. Sort your mortgage finance early. The market has changed substantially in recent years. The reality is, of course, you might not be able to get the mortgage you think you can get. You might not even be able to borrow the amount of money that you currently got borrowed. That is how markedly the market's changed. Make sure all of your viewers are pre-qualified. Make sure that before you even agree to let a viewer through the door, they have been pre-qualified. They can afford the mortgage they need in order to purchase your property. It's about wasting time. It's about working smart, not hard. You need to be getting your agent to do this, and whilst your viewers may crib and create and not want to go through this process, it's vitally important for you. Life is short. Don't allow your time to be wasted by tyre kickers or carpet treaders. Be realistic about price. Do your own research. There's plenty of information out there on the internet in relation to our online search engines, home.co.uk, land registry, Rightmove. You can soon get a feel for what's available. Have a drive around the streets, find out what's currently for sale, have a look on land registry, find out what's been sold, draw some comparisons, get a feel for what it is you think you should be selling the property at, and then be realistic around that. And the last point here is just make sure your property is looking the best it can be. Tidy up the front garden, clean the windows, wash the nets, make the place look respectable. I don't really mind how you live, that's entirely your choice, and far be it from me to make criticism or suggest what you should and shouldn't do to your house, but you are trying to sell a property. If you were trying to sell a car, you would wash it, wouldn't you? You'd tidy it up. You'd make it look, you'd MOT it, you'd make the thing look respectable before you decided to put the thing in the local paper for sale. No different with a house. This issue about being able to drive up to a property and it looks right, it looks smart, makes people feel better about it. It'll be far easier to sell. Anyway, my name is Richard Smith. I'm a personal financial planning expert at the Finance Zone. My office number is 0845 226 9106. I hope you've enjoyed this very, very brief presentation. And if you have any queries or questions at all about your personal financial planning, in particular in relation to this video, I look forward to speaking to you. Thanks very much.